Hello everyone, with Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Thursday night, August 22, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak of Atlantic hurricane season. That's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren. And subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Leave a comment down below letting me know what the has been like in your area recently. Also, feel free to ask any weather-related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at the U.S. National Hurricane Center's 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook. And we can see that as of their latest update that just came out at 7:23 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is actually 6:23 p.m. Jamaica time, they have no new area highlighted for possible tropical cyclone development over the next 7 days. If we take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic tonight, we can see that we still have that ridge of high pressure across the northern portion of North Atlantic. That's responsible for sending all of the easterly trade winds across the main development region into the Caribbean. And along these easterly trade winds, we have numerous tropical waves pushing from east to west. One right here to the east of Jamaica, affecting portions of Hispaniola, Haiti, the Dominican Republic. And another one right here to the west of the Cabo Verde Island. We also still have the clouds associated with that stationary front across portions of Florida and the northern Bahamas. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can see the clouds associated with that frontal system still bring some cloud showers and thunderstorms. This section of the northern Bahamas and Florida, even as we speak, is definitely stationary, meaning that it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So they'll definitely be getting in on more of the wet weather even tomorrow as well. And we can also see the clouds associated with the tropical wave, most of which is right there passing to the south of Jamaica, some of it right there to the south of Haiti and the Dominican Republic, some of it also on top of Haiti and the Dominican Republic, bringing some amount of overcast sky showers and thunderstorms. You can also see the clouds associated with the tropical wave to the west of the Cabo Verde Islands. But that's basically it. There's not much taking place. A little trough right there affecting portions of the northeastern Caribbean. Not much to see here at all. And we're indeed grateful for that. We don't want any more systems like Beryl coming our way anytime soon. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean weather later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Thursday, August 22, 2024. It was stated that parts of northern and eastern Jamaica would have received some morning rainfall on Thursday, also affecting sections of some central and western parishes during Thursday afternoon. And just for reference, we know northern parishes, we're talking about those parishes on top. So Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. That's where the morning rainfall would have affected. As well as eastern parishes. And we know that eastern parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey. So Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew. While during the afternoon, it was said to affect portions of central and western Jamaica. I know central parishes, I know we're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex, so St. Anne, St. Mary, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine. While western parishes, I know we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, so Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, Westmoreland, and St. Elizabeth. And what ended up happening? As early as 1 a.m., the Cuban Doppler radar images were posted, and they highlighted the greens and the yellows that represent some moderate to heavy rainfall, affecting portions of northern and eastern Jamaica at that time. So definitely portions of St. Thomas, Portland, St. Mary, sections of St. James were definitely getting in on some rainfall at that time and in the early morning hours. And even around 9:45 a.m. they were still getting in on some overcast skies, if not some rainfall, across some northern parishes. And we saw that across sections of Portland, section of St. Mary, and it eventually went into other northern areas, just as predicted. Then during the afternoon, we started to see the clouds coming into portions of central and western Jamaica. So the visible satellite image was posted here at 1:15 p.m. highlighting some thunderstorms, and we can see the sparkling yellow dust that will represent some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes, starting to affect portions of St. Elizabeth at that time. And then finally, the last post that was made here on our Twitter page. By the way, keep in mind that these posts aren't only made here on our Twitter page at Weather Jamaica, but on our Instagram page at Weather.Jamaica, on our TikTok page at Weather Jamaica, and on our Facebook page at Weather Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there, as we may post throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So the infrared satellite image was posted at that time around 4:15 p.m. and it highlighted some thunderstorms affecting portions of Kingston, St. Andrew, sections of St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, section of St. Elizabeth, Southern St. James, Westmoreland got in on the mix as well. And we see the high cold cloud tops that we know represent the cumulonimbus thunderstorm clouds, the blues, the greens, the yellows, oranges, reds, and the heap of sparkling white dots that we know represent lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. We definitely had some strong thunderstorm activity across portions of St. Catherine at that time. And if you take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we can see what took place. We definitely had more of that, especially northeasterly flow across the northern portion of the island. And then we had the clouds building, especially across central Jamaica and western parishes in Jamaica. And that's when we saw the thunderstorms coming into play during the afternoon, when we had the daytime heating. That diurnal convection was much welcome, as some persons couldn't take the heat at all. And we definitely have some confirmation here from some of our followers. First, here on our Facebook page, we have Anisha Trail stating, yes, we're getting the rain in Spanish Town. Even on our Instagram page, we had underscore T Fanny stating, it's raining heavily in Kingston as well. I'll say Boo Collection stating rain in Kingston. Hot Diva 114 stating rain in the Sunshine City. We know that's Portmore, St. Catherine. Designer Sprite stating, yup, lots of rain and thunder, heavy rain, St. Catherine. Then finally we had Shinny underscore Lost stating, rain a fall in Portmore, yay, thank God. Dr. C underscore Johnson, rain just reach. So that indeed confirms the rainfall for the central parishes as well as portion of the western parishes. And if we take a look here at See Jamaica's YouTube channel showing Crossroads, unfortunately the live streams were down today. Apparently there might have been a power outage or two across portions of the corporate area. Either way, we saw that around 5:11 p.m. the ground was definitely soaking wet, to signify that they definitely got in on some afternoon rainfall at the time. As a matter of fact, if you look closely, there are some vehicles with their windshield wipers on, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. So it was definitely still raining, some persons even walking with their umbrella. So maybe some light rain at that time to wrap up the afternoon. And if we take a look at the latest infrared satellite image of Jamaica, this is what's happening right now. So the latest image is showing that there's still some thunderstorms taking place as of right now. 55 minutes past the hour. That's what, 8:55 p.m. considering that it's what, a little after 9 now, if I'm not mistaken. We see the thunderstorms. They're definitely getting a light show to the south of Clarendon, to the southwest of St. Elizabeth as we speak. Definitely some strong thunderstorms right there. But majority of the cloud cover across the island definitely starting to clear out, especially across the northern and eastern section of the island. Still have some cloud cover across the south and western portions right now. So maybe not seeing the stars right now in those areas. If we take a look at the latest Cuban Doppler radar images, so this is the latest one that just came out. That's what, as of 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 9 p.m. Jamaica time. So we can see the rain that we just saw. Definitely matching to what we're seeing on the infrared satellite images. Look at the thunderstorm to the south of Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth. We can definitely match it to the latest Cuban Doppler radar images of 10 p.m. The yellows and the reds within there that represent some moderate to heavy rainfall. We can also see that rainfall to the south of Manchester and Clarendon that we see right here with this thunderstorm cell. We even have some dots of rainfall as represented by the greens and some slight yellows right there up to the south of St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Thomas as represented by these spots of clouds. So What we're seeing on the infrared satellite image is definitely equivalent to what we're seeing on the Cuban Doppler radar image. This is why the Doppler radar images are so important, and we hope the Jamaican Doppler radar is fixed soon. I spoke to Evan Thompson a week ago, if not 2 weeks ago, and he stated that they're still having some issues with the manufacturer regarding the Doppler radar. Hopefully they get the issue sorted out as soon as possible. We really don't want to wrap up the hurricane season not being able to use our own Doppler radar, having to be using the Cuban radar in Spanish. Oh, it's a very useful radar. They've had it for a long time, so it's still getting the job done. If we take a look to match what we just saw on the satellite image with what's going on in Crossroads, definitely a fair night as we speak. They got the rainfall earlier today. Might not even look like they got it at all because the place looks like it has dried up in a way. But they're definitely getting a fair night tonight. Don't see much clouds or rainfall across the corporate area on the satellite image or on the Doppler radar image. If we take a look at the temperatures right now, we can see about 27 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston. And by about 3 a.m. on Friday, temperature should dip down to about 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 24 degrees Celsius in Kingston. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this map from the GFS is showing 18Z on Friday when calculated. That's about 1 p.m. on Friday. And we can see Jamaica right here embedded in some yellow colors. I don't know from what we see on the key on the right that the yellow colors are representative of up to 1 degree Celsius above normal temperatures. I don't know the normal temperatures for the month of August across Jamaica are about the same as July, almost 91 degrees Fahrenheit. When calculated, 91 degrees Fahrenheit is about the same as 32.7 degrees Celsius. So it should be receiving anywhere from 32 to 33 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Friday. So please ensure that you stay out of the sun during peak hours, wear a hat, and try your best to stay hydrated with more water and fruit as well. If we take a look at the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Friday, we're indeed grateful that it's not that vigorous plume of dust that we see closer to Africa, that darker shade. We're seeing more dwindling in the Saharan dust, more lighter shades of browns, and we're seeing a lot of breaks in between. One break right here associated with the tropical wave that's gonna be affecting portions of Jamaica tomorrow. That very tropical wave that we saw on the surface map that's affecting portions of Haiti and Dominican Republic, it's gonna be pushing westward, and it's definitely moistening up the atmosphere. As seen on the forecast, we can see that it's gonna be giving Jamaica a break on the Saharan dust, even though it's not even that robust because it's lighter shades of brown. So persons aren't even really affected by it, sinusitis, asthma, whatever the case may be. That's what we like to see. We don't like to see the vigorous plume. Either way, all of this is still pushing from east to west across the main development region into the Caribbean. So we're going to be getting breaks here and there. Saharan dust, more blue skies, Saharan dust, more blue skies. And so it will continue to fluctuate. If we take a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, we can still see that both the Euro and the GFS malls are in consensus that we're going to be receiving those lighter shades of blues to darker shades of blues stretching from the Gulf of Mexico into the Eastern Caribbean. That represents anywhere from 0.5 meter wave heights all the way up to 1.5 meter wave heights. And that's because the winds are going to be averaging anywhere from 5 to 10 all the way up to 20 knots, especially across the Caribbean. The 20 knot winds are expected. And we see the general flow of the winds coming in from the east across the Caribbean. As it relates to the flow of winds across the Jamaica area tomorrow, this is what we're seeing. So definitely more so an easterly flow, as we can see, especially on the north coast. On the south coast, yes, we have an easterly flow, kind of more from the southeast in a sense, curving northward. So whatever comes off of the sea associated with this tropical wave, definitely going to be affecting portions of St. Thomas and Portland, hopefully affecting portions of St. Mary, hopefully affecting portions of Kingston and St. Andrew as well. And then we know it's going to be pushing from east west. And it could affect sections of northern and western Jamaica even more during the afternoon, because that's where it looks like most of the air is going to be piling up. We see more of these darker blues in there. So that's where we might have the daytime heating or that diurnal convection. Northern and western Jamaica for sure. So eastern Jamaica, especially during the morning, and northern and western Jamaica during the afternoon. And we know what usually happens. These low-level winds cause the low-level cumulus clouds to become mid-level rain clouds, if not upper-level cumulonimbus clouds. And with the upper-level winds tomorrow coming in more so from the southwest, look at this, coming in more so from the southwest tomorrow. It's definitely going to be favoring more of the afternoon rainfall across sections of some northern parishes. And we saw that took place today. We already see the upper level winds blowing those high cold cloud tops off towards the north. We can see it. As a matter of fact, if we look here to the southeast, we can see the high cold cloud tops being streaked off towards the northeast by that upper level wind. So that's definitely what's going to be happening tomorrow. We're going to be having the thunderstorms, especially across northern Jamaica during the afternoon, and then the upper level winds. They're going to be blowing the high cold cloud tops off towards the north out to sea. So if we actually take a look at the rainfall forecast now, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 7 a.m. Jamaica time. And what do we see on both maps? Rainfall, represented by the blue colors right here across portions of St. Thomas and Portland at that time. Skipping ahead to about 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 10 a.m. Jamaica time, we do see the blues that represent rainfall. Look at this. The GFS showing the blues across the waters to the south of the island, even affecting portion of maybe Manchester, Clarendon, as well as section of Eastern Jamaica still getting in on some rainfall. So Portland, St. Thomas for sure. But look at what the Euro is showing. Eastern Jamaica and Southern Jamaica, yes, but trying to incorporate Northern and Western Jamaica. We don't see that on the GFS, so we're not going to be running with it. We're going to be working with what we're seeing on both maps, and that's definitely Eastern and Southern Jamaica during that late morning hour. And then by afternoon, this map is valid for 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 2 p.m. Jamaica time. And look at what we see. Rainfall across Eastern Jamaica still on the Euro and the GFS, but look at that. Northern Jamaica and Western Jamaica starts to get in on the mix on the GFS. Euro showing Central and Western Jamaica, but we're going to be working with what both of them are showing, and that's definitely Western and Northern Jamaica. So Eastern, Northern, Western Jamaica for the afternoon, Eastern and maybe Southern Jamaica for the morning. That's definitely what's going to be in the forecast. So on Friday, it's gonna be morning rainfall for southern and eastern Jamaica, and then afternoon rainfall across eastern, northern, and western Jamaica. And if we take a look at the accumulated precipitation forecast maps, keep in mind that both of these maps from the Euro and the GFS are showing where it's gonna be raining from now up until 10 p.m. on Friday. That's what 3Z stands for. 3Z on Saturday, when calculated, that's about 10 p.m. on Friday. And we see that the Euro model right here and the GFS model right here are in consensus that it's going to be raining somewhere across Jamaica tomorrow. The Euro a bit more robust for a majority of the rainfall across the east, where we see these orange colors that we see by the key on the right that represents all the way up to 0.5 of an inch of rainfall, especially across eastern Portland, eastern St. Thomas, some of which will definitely push from east to west across the island. GFS showing, yes, eastern Jamaica all the way up to 0.51 of an inch of rainfall, but it's also showing northwestern Jamaica, so portions of maybe St. Antry, Lonnie, St. James, Hanover, Westmoreland. We see the oranges that represent all the way up to 0.61 or 0.63 of an inch of rainfall. Either way, we'll take it. We're in the month of August. We can see Kingston's bar graph right here at the top, Montego Bay's bar graph right here at the bottom. During the month of August throughout the year, Montego Bay usually receives almost 5 inches of rainfall for the month. That's almost 125 millimeters of rainfall. During the month of August, Kingston usually receives almost 100 millimeters of rainfall for the month. That's almost 4 inches of rainfall. By the way, keep in mind that if you'd like to see what your specific parish usually receives throughout the year, you can visit weatherandclimate.com. And if it's in millimeters or inches, don't worry, I got you. We got a nice little graphic right here showing the equivalent. We know that 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall, so you can do the math yourself. Alright, so that is it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, we have some clouds associated with a trough, bring some isolated showers and thunderstorms to portion of the northeastern Caribbean. Some clouds right here to the east of the Windward Islands as well. Clouds associated with a tropical wave bring some thunderstorms to portion of Hispaniola. The waters to the south of Jamaica. Some thunderstorms as usual. They are usual afternoon thunderstorms across sections of Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, sections of Nicaragua, Honduras. Some rainfall right there off to the east of Belize as well, the Yucatan Peninsula. We can also see some thunderstorms across portions of Cuba, the Bahamas. Clouds associated with that frontal system across sections of the northern Bahamas and Florida, as well as the waters to the east of the United States. If we take a look at the Doppler radar images of the northeastern Caribbean, so we're going to be pulling this up, we're going to be seeing what's happening right now. We do see that they're definitely getting on some isolated shores right there, especially to the northeast of Guadeloupe, in and around Antigua and Barbuda. Maybe St. Bart's getting in on some isolated shores, hit or miss shores. Not seeing much happening across Puerto Rico right now, but if we reload these images from earlier today, we can see that they definitely got in on some thunderstorms right there off to the west of the island, maybe inland areas of some northern spots. And we can also see some rainfall off to the east of the US Virgin Islands, in and around St. Kitts and Nevis as well. If we take a look at the Barbados radar, we can see some rainfall passing to the north of Barbados, pushing from east to west into portion of Martinique, maybe section of St. Lucia later on tonight, St. Vincent and the Grenadines getting in on the mix, and Barbados could get in on some of the rainfall too. Look at that coming in from the east. Not seeing much happening right now across Trinidad and Tobago, but that could change later on tonight into Friday morning. If we take a look at the wider view of Doppler radar images, we can see the rainfall associated with the tropical wave passing from east to west to the north of the ABC Islands right there. Not much happening across the ABC Islands right now. We can see not much happening across Suriname, French Guiana either. Not to mention section of Venezuela, just a little spot right there across northwestern Venezuela getting in on some rainfall. Portions of Colombia getting in on some isolated spots of rain. Section of Honduras, northern Guatemala, the waters to the east of Belize, the Yucatan Peninsula getting in on some rainfall as we speak. And we can also see the rainfall associated with the frontal system to the north of Cuba, affecting the waters in and around the Bahamas as well as the Florida coastline. And as relates to where the rainfall is expected within the next 24 hours, keep in mind that both of these maps, from the Euro right here and the GFS right here, are showing where it's going to be raining within the next 24 hours all the way up until 3 on Saturday. When calculated, that's all the way up until 10 p.m. on a Friday. And we can definitely see that there's going to be more rainfall in store for a portion of the eastern Caribbean, anywhere from Guadeloupe southward to Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, section of Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago. We can also see, if we look southward, some isolated showers for a section of Guyana. Not much for Suriname or French Guyana, but definitely southern Venezuela, western Venezuela, Colombia, sections of Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, Belize, sections of maybe western portions of the Cayman Islands, but the Euro is a bit more robust, widespread with the Cayman Islands. Section of Cuba, the Bahamas, and even section of Florida as well might get in on the rainfall too. And we see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus with this forecast. I know that when they're in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.